Welcome back. Of course, this is the Daybreak Africa. If you're just joining us from our own studio, I remain Michael Obagiri. So they will be looking at a very topical discussion, the one that really affects and is a thing that Nigeria needs to talk about, the Nigerian economy, the effect of exchange rate and foreign policy on our entrepreneurs in Nigeria and also in Africa. We have a very wonderful guest in the studio who is an entrepreneur, the person of Rufina, Akinbinu. A very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you in the studio.
Yes, it's my pleasure too.
All right, going straight to the discourse of the day. You being a business person, an entrepreneur, you happen to do, let's say, your hands are almost everywhere. And I think you major on event planning as well.
Yeah.
So having this in mind and looking at the state of our economy in Nigeria, how would you say you have survived, let's say, in the littlest space till now?
Oh, thank you. Like, it's not only on the issue of event alone. This particular policy affects virtually everything in the sector. For instance, if I'm to travel out of Ondo State for an event, transportation before doesn't cost me more than between 50,000 and 60,000. But now, for you to travel from Ondo to Ekiti now, you spend almost 150,000. So you can say it's just on the event alone. It has to do with all the things that surround us.
All right. Now, if we want to look at our entrepreneurs and how it's the exchange rate really affect them, we'll talk about two ways: the change of the cost of supplies down to it from where they're getting it from, and also the attractiveness of the product to oversee customers. These are two factors that really affect entrepreneurs in Nigeria and also all over the world, with the exchange policy, the policies for the let's say the government also affecting them. You as a business person looking into this, how do you analyze this and how have you been able to maneuver it so far?
Like I said earlier on, things has to do with the policy, and the policy has affected so many things. In government policy, there are some things in which they ought to have done and which they have left untouched. Because now, as of today, we have 817 naira to a dollar. As an entrepreneur, for you to transport or to send your goods outside Nigeria to the following a country, assuming you are transporting, importing, and you are exporting. By the time you are going to do all this, you will discover that you spend more than what you're supposed to spend. And for you to buy goods, the cost of materials, bringing them back here, also has affected a lot of things. So the cost, our government has to do kind of restreaming the Nigerian currency. When the dollar is at the high rate, it will devalue a naira. They have to bring out a kind of policy that will reduce this problem we are facing concerning our currency. By so doing, it will bring, it will solve the problem.
All right, we kind of have some national factors contributing to challenges which entrepreneurs tend to face in the country, and we also have the government policies as well. Now, if you would want to wait, looking at the aspect of national factors, which has to be about the let's say the exchange rate and also the naira, and also looking at the aspect of fuel subsidy and transportation and all of that, so which one actually poses more threat on your business?
I wouldn't say one or two. I would say the two.
Okay.
Because sometimes you want to buy some goods to enhance your business. We'll have to get them. They will tell you, this is not what we bought the last time. We have to put the kind of money more on it, because when we want to import this, we pay extra. That is one. And like I said, if I'm to travel from one place to the other, I have to pay this fueling of a vehicle that cost you 16,000 naira before, and you discover that for you to have a full tank, you pay 50,000 naira to fuel the car. You can see that the two aspects, you can't do without it. Whether the Nigeria currency or dollar currency, or you talk about the fueling, all these things, they both work hand in hand. You can't do without it too.
All right, you said they both work hand in hand, which I must agree with you.
Yeah.
But now, let's bring it now. I want to really know, we have the government policies, we have inflation, on the other hand, we have the currency issues. Can you vividly just analyze how inflation comes together, the relationship with inflation, the government policy, and also the currency fluctuation in the market that affect entrepreneurs in Nigeria?
Everything interwoven. When you don't have money in the circulation, you will talk about inflation. Personally, if you go to bank, they will tell you you can't get more than 10,000 naira, 5,000 naira. And you have a lot of money in there, you will not be able to get it. And go to these POS people, you can get 100,000 from them. And how much will you pay on the charges? You might be paying 1,000 naira. That is where the inflation is coming in. A bag of rice is how much? At those days, how much do we buy a bag of rice? You buy them for like 8,000 plus. And now you are buying for 58, 60,000. All these things, like I said, they are in, you can't do without them. It's either you are in or you are out of it. That is just the system. Both the government policy, the economic factors, and the inflation. One we have to link to another. And that is what we are facing presently. Until we are able to solve all those problems, that is when we'll be able to get out of it.
You're going back in time, so it's 10 years ago, and comparing it, or will I say, observing it till date. Would you say the Nigerian market has been suffering, or is just facing a temporary challenge?
We are really facing a lot. For a regular entrepreneur, if you want to go out there to get goods, if you have a business of maybe 1 million, you go to market before with 1 million naira. If you want to go now, I'm going to assure you, you must have 5 million for you to get that same market you get for 1 million in those time. So I wouldn't say we are improving. Things are getting bad day by day.
Now, if you say things are getting bad day by day, I want to understand that there is no economy that grows without the positive and effective functionality of a small-scale businesses in that country. At this point, we have the fuel price on the hike. The fuel subsidy was gone, and everything's really affecting businesses, down to even the tomato seller to get to the market, and they will tell you dollar don't rise. It's a situation now. We know that our economy has been dollarized. It's really affecting most African countries, because at the end of the day, we see that we are a consuming nation. We hardly produce. For an entrepreneur that wants to strive and do well in Nigeria as a nation, what are the things that are supposed to be looked up? You also said there are things that the government are supposed to have done, but they haven't. So talking about things they are supposed to have done, what are those things that they are supposed to have put on ground to connect those dots together and make things work so far in Nigeria?
Thank you. I will give an advice to our government. Let us encourage our own thing. Let us try to strive to do more. let us believe in ourselves. When we produce things, let us try one way or the other to consume it. By the time I produce, I'm an Ekiti girl. If I happen to come from Ekiti and we produce ofada rice, why don't we consume more of this? Let us deal more on this. Appreciate the farmers that are doing it. Give them more, empower them. Let them do more. In so doing, you are building the economy. But the moment we believe more on imported goods, you discover that the economy of our own nation is being suffering while you support the external investors. And when the economy is being done in such way, you will discover that the green grass that we're supposed to have will not be green anymore. Because why? They are suffering. We don't water them the way we should. So I want to tell our government out there that encourage the local investors. Give them more empowerment. Tell them, call them for, if you are going to have seminars, call them, let them have seminars. Empower them after the seminar. By so doing, you will discover we have a lot of growing economy. It will help us the more. That is just my own summation.
Now, if I'm to go by what you said, you made mention of seminars. It's one thing for you to have a good mind towards doing something, but the enablement is another thing. We are in a country talking about Nigeria economy as it is right now. We know that we are really suffering, and I want to believe that's one of the reasons why the new administration proposed the removal of fuel subsidy for them to be able to garner some fund to do some things. If we are going to go by the laws of business, I want to believe that for you to go into business, you have to be able to maximize profit and minimize cost of production. Now, we are in a country that we have insecurity, we have a lot of things really fighting our economy. You made mention of other rights. These are for farmers. But in a country that we can't even farm, there are a lot of things really happening. How do you think entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs that want to go to, even people that have been there over the years, can survive fighting this, and also with the government that is also saying they don't have money? Because of course, for them to go into business, they have to debt. They have to go into debt, get more loans, and this is really telling on our economy. How do you think they are going to juggle all these balls together and still make positive change?
I want to encourage our young ones out there, which always believe in white collar job. Believe in yourself. Do more for yourself. There are a lot of people who are not even into offices, who doesn't earn these monthly salaries, and they are far, far better than the salary earners. If we believe more on us, in ourselves, if you want to be a tailor, you want to go and learn a tailoring. It doesn't have, you don't have much, it doesn't require much money to do that. What requires of you is your commitment, your time, and what again? Your intellect. With all this, when you pull them together and you are able to stand on your own, you will discover that you will empower some people again who will want to come under you, who will want to learn that particular job. In so doing, like that, you will discover you have helped a lot of people. Compared to, I went to school, I have my certificate, I'm a master holder, I'm a doctorate holder, and you are still looking up to government to do something for you. As an engineer, as a doctor, as an architect, You can as well stand on your own and do something without looking for a white collar job. With this, it helps you. It will even build you more than when you stay in a place from morning, from 8:30 in the morning to 4 p.m. And you are being paid peanuts. But when you decide to be on your own, you are self-reliance. It helps. So I want to tell a young one outside there, believe in yourself. Try to do more, because we have the country. They said the young shall grow. We are growing. By the time all these old people leaves, we will be there. We will be the one to pull them up, begin to pilot the canoe of this country. So I want to tell us all out there that we just have to believe in ourselves and have something to do with our lives than waiting for the government to supply us all the needs.
Earlier we got speaking about people who tend to want to begin business, especially now for the young ones out there. Now, how difficult do you think it is for them, and how easy as well is it to begin a business right now?
I wouldn't say it is difficult. You know, it all depends on you. I don't aim too high. When I started my business, I told my daughter one day, I said, this particular business I was doing, I don't have any boss. But I have one brother. He wants to come around for a wedding. And he just called me, Auntie, I want to have my wedding so date. I want you to be the one in charge of this. You know? And I decided to organize that wedding. And that wedding was a success. That was what led me to invent. Like I said, what you have, you just have to believe in yourself that I can do this. If someone gave me $1 million, that's okay, I want you to do this business. If I don't have that, if I don't have interest in that particular business, that business will not succeed, because why? It's a free gift. And I don't have interest in it. I will see it as he asked me to do it now, let me just do it. But whatever you have in you will push out the strength that you have in everything, your interest into into whatever you want to do. And this is what is going to help you in growing your business. So I wouldn't tell you that it's difficult or it's not difficult. It depends on determination. If I want to determine to be a millionaire today, you know, it depends on you. Some people have this money, they don't have plan. And some people have the plan, they don't have the finances. So these are the two things. I might have the plan, the idea. I might not have anybody to, I might not have money to finance that particular program. I might come to you. You might be the one to finance the program. And the two of us can come together. And you will discover that if the two of us can actually agree on one particular thing, it will come to well for us, and the business will grow. So nothing is too difficult for you to achieve. It then depends on what you believe. If you believe you can do it, surely you will achieve it.
All right. Okay.
Sorry, Michael. We also go speaking about issues of loan as well, which is an interesting topic, because we get to see the government almost all the time telling you, okay, this is a grant for the farmers, this is grant for agriculture, this is grant for SMEs and all of that. And countlessly, many individuals have come out to testify that these grants are not easily gotten, so that no matter how easily it's presented to the citizens, it's actually not so easy to get. So when you keep on applying, it is only by God's grace sometimes that people get this loans. So and most of the times, people who want to begin businesses tend to want to fall back to these loans. So what do you think actually is the problem when it comes to loaning and, you know, businesses?
With this present, I will never encourage anybody to go on loan to start a business unless you have a standard business. When you have a standard business and the business has already stand, you can, it will be the bank or whoever that wants to give you the loan, they will be the one running after it, because why? They've seen that you are already a success. But if you are starting a business and you decide to go into loan, I don't know what is going to come out of that. Because why? The business, you don't know what is going to bring out. And you'll be paying back this money. It won't be, they won't give you after 6 months. If you get the loan this month, you begin to pay back the next month. Isn't it? And bank loan now is around maybe 22%. And for you to be paying back 22% of what you got from them, will you be able to sustain the business? So I don't encourage people to start business with a loan. Try all you could. I know a lot of people might not want to sponsor you, but when they know your ability and you are being sincere with whatever you are doing.
And that is exactly where I want to come in. You made mention of something that really interests me. You spoke about what you have in you can really generate you the kind of life that you want to live. That is the place of passion. Now, I want to understand also the place of reality, the ecosystem of our business structure in Nigeria as it is. Now, you have an idea of a business. Of course, you've done a lot of feasibility studies. You want to go into this business, but there's a fight against the giants. Of course, for most business ideas, if somebody similar is doing something that you are doing, somebody that has more funds than you that can possibly push you out of the market is there. You also spoke about going to someone, I have an idea, will you want to fund it? Now, this is where the success of a thing comes in, or somebody going to get loan. You have a business idea, yes, I like it, but I don't know if you are going to be a success. It's a gamble. These are the things that most young entrepreneurs are really facing. Now, with the economic situation of Nigeria, do you think it's easy to start without going into that loan that Angela just asked? Because if you don't want to go into that loan, how do you do it?
Where do you fall back to?
To even get a white collar job that you even said right now in Nigeria is very hard, because at the end of the day we hear things like it's connection, somebody is helping. You don't have such things. You don't have anything to fall back to. You don't have a capital, because there are some business that you have to get a lot of capitals to start, no matter how small it is. Because you made mention of your business, which is talking about event planning. Is a talent-wise, I want to believe that some people will go into the business, some people want to give you contract, they would have made some down payments. But there are some business that are not like that. You have to start from the scratch on your own. How do you navigate these things together?
Like I said, your ability in controlling people's mind matters. You know, if I come to you with a business proposal, and I try to explain to you I have this business and I will want you to finance it. By the time you are asking me questions, if I don't know the in-depth of that business, will you give me that? Will you finance that business?
Of course not.
You will not. And that is why you see some people, when they go out for people to finance businesses or to finance a project, you will discover they don't have any sponsor. Because why? Some of us, we don't even know what we do. We don't even understand it. And if I want to go into a business with you, I don't have the knowledge of it. You are bringing it to me. I'm asking you. You are now saying, it seems like, it's, you know, I will now think twice and said, don't you think you want to gamble with your money? Some of us, that is what we do. And that is where we have the problem. Like I said, I don't think big. Whatever, I'm contented. If I want to start a business, like those POS people, they can start business of 100,000. By the time you have 1 or 2 profit on it, you don't have to spend it. Leave it. It multiplies. Then if I have maybe in a month or in a month or 3 months, I came back to you, I said, I have started this business with 100,000. And out of this 100,000, I've been able to realize like 250,000. Do you get it? You'll be encouraged. You have to sit up and say, wow, please, can you tell me how you do it? If I'm able to give a proper explanation to you how this money is being made, you will be encouraged. You will, one way or the other.
But don't you think that's a gamble too? Because coming to you now to tell you about my plans and how I
you have to show me all this.
If I show it to you and you say, okay, I will get back to you, and tomorrow you went to go and start the business on the largest scale, and you push me out of the market, don't you think that's a gamble for young entrepreneurs? That is why most of them don't want to come out of their shell to explain how their business is being functioned.
You know, you can't judge everybody same. You will have studied the person you want to come and meet. You will have known this person. If I don't know Angela too well, you know, I can't come to meet her to discuss my business or my career with her. I must have a knowledge of what she's up to. That if I should come to her, discuss this particular thing, what will she do for me? I must have heard something about her, what she has done to other people before coming to you. I won't go to a person who will kill my dream just like that. I will have to find someone who will listen to me and get me what I actually want from them.
Well, when it comes down to marketing and like say profit making and sales, you know, let me take for example, most of these market women, they take like say advantage of some of these challenges we face in the country. They'll tell you transport is this, they'll tell you this one is that. For probably vegetable that is growing at the back of a woman's house, she can tell you that
in the market now 600 naira per one.
You can imagine that she'll just increase the price and be like transportation for the vegetable and all of that. So I want to really understand when it comes to the place of making profits, especially in challenging times like this, what would you call profit making and what would you call exploitation?
That one has to do with you and me. If I should go to markets and I bought something of 100 naira, and I know for sure my transportation is like 30 naira, that is 130 on that particular goods, right? And if you put up your where you sell it, maybe you pay for electricity, you pay for this, you pay for that, assuming the electricity is around 20 naira. You had it, you have 150. When you want to sell that particular good, you know, the cost price and everything, you've added everything together and the expenses is giving you 150. If you want to sell that, at least you should be able to sell for like 170, 180. You have 30 naira. But in a situation where you now said, God, if you see how much I paid on this particular goods today, I bought this thing 200 naira. And you yourself, you knew quite all right it was 100 naira. And by the time you had 30 naira, 50 naira, the transportation and the house rent, the shop rent and the electricity, you had it up, that is times 2. You are not telling the person, it is 260 about it. That is exploitation.
Because many a times we tend to see this playing out very much in our society.
Yeah.
Although we tend to complain that foodstuffs, there's the hike in increase of price of foodstuffs and here and this and that and commodities in general. But yet again, you go to some regions and these things are cheaper, and you go to some other regions and you see something different. Even in the same market, you go to different salespersons and they will give you different prices. So why is it like that? Because yet again, many have also come out to testify that Nigerians are the causes of their own problems.
Yes.
So why do we keep seeing this in our society? And is there no kind of check and balance that the government can do to help alleviate this kind of situation playing out?
I don't think they are doing well. Like, is it Commerce and Industry? That is Ministry of Commerce and Industry. They're supposed to be the one to do the check and balances of all this. When you when you are buying a crate of Coke for 2,000, I mean, some will sell 2,800, some will sell 2,900, while some will sell 3,000 from the same products in the same city.
Yeah.
I'm sure the company has a supervisor. What has the supervisor been doing? I'm sure you know all those people. You'll be meeting the customers that come to their store to get those drugs. I mean, to get those drinks. What have you done to control that particular thing? That is corruption. I might, one way or the other, tell you, you know, when these drivers come, so I pay them, I do this, I do that, and you yourself at the end of the month, I will have to give you something. You will not be able to talk again, except you are able to control yourself on this particular thing. That is when we'll be able to do it. Our government has a lot to do about this particular thing. You've sent them on an errand. You've given them the task. Go out. Let there be a uniform price of some goods. But you still discover that these particular products, they are still selling different prices when they're supposed to be a standard price for that particular
Exactly.
goods.
That brings me to the next question. There is growth and there is development.
Yeah.
Now, the situation of Nigeria economy right now, you spoke about the standard price, which brings us to the situation of price control on commodities. I think in the past we used to have that some decades back, but we don't have it right now. And I was speaking to an economist, and what he said is there a possibility for you to control what you do not produce? We are consuming more, we produce less. So we depend on the foreign marketers to bring us goods and services to our country. So at the end of the day, is it really possible for you to have a standard price control when every vendor has gotten their prices the way they want to be? And when you get your own goods, I might tell you I got mine from Thailand, the price is different. I got mine from this, is different. Now, you spoke about a crate of mineral from a particular, that is an internal one.
Yeah.
But let's bring it to the larger scene. Is it possible to have a price control on goods and services going out and coming back to our country on a larger scale?
I don't think it is. Because why? Like you said, I might get my goods from Thailand. You might go to China to order yours. You go to US to order for your own. You go to UK. You know, by the time you had all the tickets and all those stuffs, what you used to order those goods, by the time you add them up, you won't get the same price. You will not get it. So
what do you now advise the government to do in such situations, especially when we practically produce almost nothing when it comes to essential goods and services in our country?
I said earlier on, I said the government needs to encourage the local investors. We need to. I got a lady, she's into this shoemaking. I saw the slippers with her. It was so beautiful.
Wow.
If you see such people, patronize them. By the time, okay, 2 or 3 people get to know her, that this is what she's been doing and she's doing it well, Why don't you go to her and buy all this than you waiting for Turkey shoe and the slippers to come around? You get some tailors who sew beautiful clothes, and you will still wait. You say, no, I don't want this, I want imported, I want UK. By the time you get to those where they sell clothes, you tell them, no, I want UK, I want US. What of the one made in Nigeria? Why don't you ask for that? You know, these are just the thing. Like Yoruba will say, we don't value ourselves. But if you are able to value the products we produce here in Nigeria, you will discover our problem will be lessened. It will.
Well, in Africa at large, I think we commonly have this issue of business crisis here and there. But what do you think our government have been doing wrong? Because it's not possible for Nigeria government to be doing the same as Ghanaian government or Gambia government. You know, so what exactly is wrong with our African businesses worldwide?
Corruption.
I guess we need to hear that loud, right?
Corruption. Because if I should bring a business to your office, you will have seen, oh, 400 million. And the only thing for this money to come out is just your signature. Isn't it? But you will still tell me, no, the person that is to sign this thing will not be around now. We just have to wait. I might need this thing as urgent as possible. But I might not get it. For me to make things work, I will have to give you something. And sometimes I might not even be the one to initiate it. You might tell me, before we are to print this, there's no fuel in the generator to print the paper. There's this, there's that. You know, by so doing, what do we call it? And this thing has degenerated to the bottom of all the economy in the country. So.
Well, shortly before we leave, I think we're timed out already. What are your last words to the government and even the citizens out there who are, you know, struggling with their businesses concerning the government policies, the exchange rates, and all of it all put together?
I want to tell our viewer out there that it is going to be great. Nigeria will be great once again. Don't lose hope. Believe in yourself, in whatever you do, and have it at the back of your mind that at the end of the tunnel, there comes what? Light. That is my advice to them all.
That was very beautiful. Thank you for joining us this morning.
It's a pleasure to have you on the program today.
Thank you so much.
Well, also thank you to our viewers for always coming back to Daybreak Africa. And just as you said, there is always a light at the tunnel, so it is not expected that you give up all of a sudden. So please just keep that hope alive inside of you and continue with whatever struggle you are putting up with. And this is where we'll be handing over to our legal station who has a package prepared for you. Please do not go away as I sign out right now. I am Angela Daku.
I must say, most importantly, from everything our guest has said, do patronize Nigeria's own made goods. Let's support our own, and when we do, our economy is going to boost, everybody will be happy, and it's going to be a win-win situation for everyone. We will live the life that we have always envisioned and envisaged that we want to live. From us here, I will be saying goodbye. I remain Michael Obagiri.
Bye.
Bye.